Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in into today's video. We're going to be talking about the funniest Rick and Morty moments of all time. Whether you're a big fan or whether you've just started watching Rick and Morty, I'm sure you'll enjoy some of these. Let's dive into Rick and Morty's funniest moments. First up, there was that time when they created a robot with a small purpose. While having breakfast, Morty asked Rick for help on his science project as his grandfather slowly assembles a machine. However, Jerry suggests that they do the Morty project as a father-son relationship, which Beth encourages. Meanwhile, Rick perfects his device, which turns out to be a fully intelligent robot that Rick built simply to give him a plate of butter. The cyborg's repeated questions to Rick about his life's purpose and his horror at realizing he only exists to get over him are dark humor, and the contrast between Rick and Jerry's intelligence at this moment is also great. Up next was the time when they created Get Swifty. It was when a giant alien head appeared on Earth. Many people feared for their lives because it changed the weather. However, Rick and Morty quickly explained to the US president that Cromalon wants Earth to perform a catchy new song. Sadly, disaster struck during the Grammy Awards, killing many of the world's most famous pop artists. So it's up to Rick and Morty to compose a song. The song was called Get Swifty, which was mostly gibberish, but it was pretty good to get the world called into the final round of a hulking alien music competition, and that's it. It's also a pretty funny incident. There's also the time when Morty lives Roy's life. After making money selling guns to an assassin, Rick takes Morty to an alien video game called Blips and Chits. Although Morty does not believe in Rick's actions, his grandfather was able to distract him by sticking a VR headset to Morty's head, forces him to live the entire life of a man named Roy, from his childhood until Roy's death, with Morty's spirit seemingly influencing Roy's life choices. While Morty is confused and angry, Rick criticizes Morty's life choices as Roy and seems to continue to reverse the game's usual life progression by not having a social security card. Who could love Rick for such a professional player? And we can't forget about the time when they watched the trailer Two Brothers. When Rick connects a bunch of cables that receive television from every conceivable reality, he opens up many exciting possibilities, most of which are based on improvisation. However, the most fun is probably the trailer of a sci-fi action movie starring a pair of brothers. From the opening statement that the film is in theaters, coming to theaters this summer, the trailer then lists a strange array of threats facing the brothers, from tornadoes and meteors to Mexican alien weapons. The running titles, like the rest of the trailer, are excellent, and the real icing on the cake is Justin Roiland unable to control his laughter at the end. Following that is the time when they meet the Scary Terry. Rick and Morty's origins through various dream levels are much more chaotic, but somehow easier to follow than Inception. But things take a particularly interesting turn after touching Dream Platform. The duo faces off against Scary Terry, whom Rick immediately calls out to legally take down Freddy Krueger. Every time Rick breaks the fourth wall, it's great, but it's especially funny because he does it in the middle of danger. Scary Terry himself is fun, though he uses the formal term for the female dog more often than Jesse Pinkman. Another funniest moment of Rick and Morty was when they sought Mulan McNugget sauce. While imprisoned by the Galactic Federation, Rick detracts his captors with a meaningless means to prevent them from finding the information they seek. This includes discussing a Szechuan sauce briefly offered by McDonald's for the movie Mulan. After escaping his captivity, Rick not only brought down the galactic government, but also arranged his daughter's divorce. Rick explains all this to Morty in a deranged tone, in which he also claims his motivation is to achieve Mulan McNugget sauce. No matter how many seasons it takes, it's funny how we still can't believe some people emulate Rick's attitude in real life. Then, The Snake Society on Rick and Morty was a top-tier comedy. The finest humor in the show is how the authors managed to not only humanize the snakes, but also give them an intricate narrative, history, culture, and technology, despite the fact that they have no hands with which to use tools. The snake narrative is filled with real-world allegories that have been somewhat modified to fit the episode. The snakes have complete military capabilities and have even sent a snake into space, even if it did bite its first contact. Abe Lincoln was bitten by a snake. Hitler is a snake. There's a snake MIT from 1985, complete with their own renditions of the first Apple logo, Back to the Future, enormous brick cell phones, and snake cocaine. And then there was that time when they remembered people who are not real. After someone accidentally tracks an alien parasite, Smith recalls his non-genuine friends and family, leading to increasingly ridiculous characters showing like Poopy Butthole, Hamurai Pencil Sylvester. When Rick and Morty realize that the parasite can only make fun memories, the family becomes a hitman. Just as everything seems calm, Mr. Poopy Butthole reveals that he is still there, and Beth shoots him. Hysterically dark deception. The goofy little guy turned out to be a real person. Poopy Butthole's rehab is ambiguous, but the overthrow of expectations always brings a lot of laughter, even if guilty. And we couldn't forget about the time when they find the true level. Sometimes Morty's adventures with Rick get a little too overwhelming for him, leading to Rick erasing his nephew's memories. This doesn't stop him from revisiting the fun moments. One such memory shows that Morty is trying to repair a bookshelf with a spirit level. Rick swears and insists that Morty goes through the real level. Working harder than Rick ever seems for anything, he clears a perfectly flat space in the garage. While Morty was initially skeptical when he got to work, he quickly experienced an overwhelming sense of euphoria with a real sense of class. What's even more hilarious is that after being dragged away by Summer, he immediately turns into despair. Speaking of Summer, there was that time Rick proved Morty and Summer were pieces of S with math. Rick, Morty, and Summer are confronted with two distinct realities that play out at the same time in the season 2 opener. After spending many months with time frozen so they could clean the home after a mega party, Rick, as always putting himself as the center of the action, decides to use this chance to inform Morty and Summer that no matter how much they compete for his attention, he regards them both as the same way, as pieces of S. Not only that, but he believes now is a good moment to explain exactly what he means to the siblings. What follows is a very humorous, if demeaning, critique of Summer and Morty's flaws as they sit in front of him, classroom lecture style. Rick does so while accompanied by a giant blackboard on which is written in marker how the youngsters, who are shown as having tiny minds, connect to Rick, who is drawn with a large brain. It's difficult to understand why either Rick or Summer would have any allegiance to Rick after this, and he goes and maybe sacrifices himself for Morty at the conclusion of the episode. Another one of the funniest moments on Rick and Morty was when the dog started making requests. When Jerry asked Rick to improve Morty's dog's intelligence to prevent territorial pee, the family gets more than they negotiated. Dog Snuffles, also known as Snowball, have rapidly become smarter and able to build strong exoskeletons. Then he confronts the Summer in her room at night and demands to know what happened to his testicles because he doesn't know what the castration is. The dog robot voice and question directness create horrifying but entertaining moments that illustrate how crazy Rick and Morty can be. And when they defeat the devil. After Summer gets a job for a real devil selling cursed items, Rick goes on a mission to destroy Satan's business. Although with Summer's help, the devil was able to turn the tide in the end, he still toppled her. Instead of taking a mundane lesson, Summer and Rick decide to exercise and gain strength from steroids, then defeat the devil and humiliate him in public. The fact that they're willing to go this far for revenge is a laugh, as is the fact that they continue to use their power to take down other fools. In addition, the DMX song is a perfect choice. There you have it. What do you think is the funniest Rick and Morty moment? Is there a funny moment you think we forgot? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.